Now, today marks the start of U.S. President's widest-ranging tariffs. At midnight, a 10% baseline levy kicked in, hitting virtually all U.S. trading partners and sparing only Canada and Mexico, at least for now. The tariffs could trigger retaliation from all corners of the world and plunge a flailing global economy into further turmoil. Financial markets around the world have already taken a hit, with U.S. stocks seeing their biggest drop in over 5 years after Trump's Wednesday announcement. Meanwhile, Tesla CEO and Trump advisor Elon Musk says he hopes Europe and the United States can eventually establish a free trade zone.
I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation.
Musk appeared virtually at a Congress of a right-wing Italian party, and the comments come after Trump announced a 20% tariff on goods from the European Union. The tech billionaire also said he hopes for greater freedom of movement between Europe and the U.S. Meantime, protests against Donald Trump's tariffs are being held around the world this weekend. This is what it looked like in Washington, where demonstrators were gathering at the National Mall. They're expressing frustration around a number of issues, including government cuts, the economy, and human rights. Many are carrying signs with slogans such as "We the People" and "Hands Off." And many similar rallies are planned across all 50 states, including in Tampa, Florida. Journalist Steve Futterman joins us now from there. Steve, what can you tell us about the nationwide protests and what is a very loud protest there behind you in Florida?
Well, Chris, you can hear it's very loud and enthusiastic here. I'd say a couple thousand people are here, and you hear the horns honking as people drive by. The protesters behind me is City Hall. That's where this gathering is located. But you have people with all different signs. A woman to my left has a sign that says "Democracy, not dictatorship." Another sign says "Hands off our democracy." These are anti-Trump people, and obviously they're amped up by some of the issues the last couple of weeks. The Signal controversy, when they controversy involving classified material being shown to a journalist, and then of course the stock market cratering a bit this past week with the tariffs. So there are many different issues. People are here protesting. Now, this is just one of really hundreds of protests, some very large, some moderate, and then some small. There have been really huge crowds today in Boston. You mentioned Washington. Also, hope you can still hear me with all the yelling going on. Also in New York. But again, these are people who have been longtime Trump opponents. They've been somewhat silent since he was elected. We didn't hear the massive protests we saw when he was elected in 2016. But this is the first really large nationwide protest we have seen throughout the nation since Trump was elected last November.
Yeah, and Steve, some of them, like the one that you're at there, are certainly quite large. And don't worry, I can hear you fine. I did have to turn down the volume in my earpiece here because it's very loud where you are, but we can still hear you. So I'd like to know more about what these demonstrators are actually hoping to accomplish by all these protests.
Well, listen, they want what they're saying to be heard by other people. Some of this is to get the publicity out. They like when people like us report this story. They feel that the message going out shows other people that might be sympathetic to their cause that, yes, there is a way to oppose Donald Trump. And they also want the Trump people to see that there's growing opposition. Now, the past week or so, we have heard even some moderate Republicans really strongly criticizing Trump for his tariff policies. These are often conservative businessmen who just feel tariffs are the wrong thing, and they feel that Donald Trump has just been ignoring sound advice from long-time successful economists. So if they can get the message out, they feel this builds some momentum. Now, where it goes from here, we just don't know. But again, this is the start. And of course, they are looking towards elections. There are some special elections that will be held this year, and we're only a year away from the midterms. And this is part of the buildup that they hope will maybe turn the House in the Democrats' favor in 2026, maybe even the Senate. So it's a long, long road. This is just the beginning for the Trump opponents.
All right, Steve, always great to see you. Thank you so much. That is journalist Steve Futterman in Tampa, Florida. And I'm Chris Glover. You're watching CBC News Network.